Hello everyone, my name is Amin Shahinpour and I'm from Iran. Today I want to tell you some really interesting contents in the field of marketing with the source of the University of Oxford. Are you ready? So, let's go! What is positioning? The way in which a company or organization and its capabilities are perceived relative to its competitors in its marketplaces by existing or potential customers. Positioning, therefore, indicates on what basis and with what means a company or organization wishes to compete in its marketplaces. Positioning is one of the most important elements of its strategic marketing. For example, if it's not right for the company or its products or services, then many of the marketing executions that flow from the positioning idea will be ineffective. Positioning is closely related to brand equity and market segmentation, as all good positioning must be related to external market realities, trends, and dynamics. Remember, it is the most dangerous to claim a market position for a product that the company or the organization cannot or can no longer deliver against. Also, the overall positioning must be relevant and compelling to a sufficient mass of potential buyers to make a worthwhile investment in the overall brand positioning. In addition, the market must value the specific positioning of an attribute. Theoretical models of positioning. Michael Porter has suggested three types of positioning. The first one is product differentiation, the second one is cost leader, and the third one is niche player. He argued that successful firms must be superior in at least one of these positions and cannot be average or dominant in all three types of positions. While Porter's frameworks remains relevant and valid, in marketing terms it has been further developed. Others have developed a framework of value disciplines, which is the first one is operational excellence. For example, Dell, IKEA, or McDonald's. The second one is product leadership. For example, the Mercedes or Apple. And the third one is customer intimacy. For example, Disney or Virgin Atlantic Airlines. Throat and Rios define positioning in terms of its outcome and how it leads to the perceptions in the minds of the customers, either existing or prospectives. Philip Kotler has produced a detailed taxonomy of different types of positioning. The first one is attribute positioning, in which the product or service, the company or organization, promotes a prominent feature or attribute. For example, the world's best-selling car or the most expensive perfume. The second one is benefit positioning, in which benefit positioning is a more typical type of positioning, which is more focused on the benefit derived from the product or service. For example, the cleanest clothes after washing, or the fastest overnight delivery parcel, or the greatest number of information from a research. The next one is user application positioning, in which the product or service or the company or the organization is positioned for definite use or application. For example, the first-time buyer's mortgage, or the golf clubs designed for low-handicap golfers. The next one is user group positioning, in which the product or service and the organization and the company aligns and creates affinities with a specific user group. For example, the Gap with fashionable conscious youth, or Apple for cool people, Disney for families, Sega with senior citizens, and Volvo for safety conscious drivers who also value durability. The next one is competitor positioning, in which a company defines itself relative to its main competitor. Frequently, companies that are challenging the market or dominant brands use this type of positioning. For example, in the early days, Apple did this by implication with IBM. Apple promised creativity and freedom with its PCs. Or let's talk about Pepsi. Pepsi is constantly inviting its customers to compare its drinks with those of Coca-Cola. Or Virgin Atlantic is constantly positioning itself against British Airways. The next one is category positioning, in which the company organization describes itself as a leader in a category rather than a specific product. For example, Hewlett-Packard in color printings, Coca-Cola in soft drinks, and Kodak in photography. The next one is quality price positioning, in which the product or service promotes its quality relative to its pricing. For example, the Burger King's burgers being the best in value for money rather than being the best burgers. Now, let's talk about another important term, repositioning. Repositioning is a set of marketing activities that changes the buyer's and the target market's perception of a given product or service. This can apply to a number of types of positioning. For example, the first one is image repositioning, in which the product is the same but with a different perception. For example, the Marlboro cigarettes being moved from women's cigarettes in 1950s to rugged macho men's cigarettes from 1960s onwards. The next one is product repositioning, in which the product is adapted to either meet the needs of its target market, for example, the Microsoft's various versions of Windows, or to increase the size of its target market. For example, the Lucozade drinks being adapted and repositioned from a single bottle product that people took when they were poorly to an energy including drink for sports people and active people in various terms and flavors. The next one is intangible repositioning, in which a different market is targeted with the same product. For example, taking Disney theme parks to the very different markets of Japan and Europe. But tangible repositioning is quite different, in which the target markets and the products are changed. For example, let's talk of the evolution of Nokia that has changed from being a wood products company to mobile services and phones company. Now, let's talk about value positioning, in which luxury goods and services come in the high price premium, but which confer status on the user. For example, the Gucci, Ferrari, and Mercedes. Wholesale, factory outlets, and retail stores can provide lower prices than the competitors. Also, various internet websites can provide lower prices than the traditional and branded retail outlets. This is usually based upon retailing techniques and bulk purchasing. In addition, the overall positioning is the leading brand rather than a specific products that it sells. There is now a range of no-frill product and service providers who offer a basic product or service at much lower prices than the competitor by eliminating some service features. For example, IKEA requires customers to assemble the purchased furniture from flat packs. Or about airlines, EasyJet, Ryanair, and Southwest Airlines provide very low-cost air travel by eliminating certain features, such as the food on board, or the pre-assigned seats, direct booking without agents, and not transferring baggages to other airlines. Or what about banks? Online banks offer very more and better interest rates, but all transactions should be carried on over the internet and thereby activating the need for physical location and service personnel. Thank you very much for listening to me. If you want to know more into field of marketing, don't forget to follow my Instagram and YouTube. Thank you very much. Take care and goodbye.